Let's bring to the stage Bill Cushard, Director of Product Adoption Marketing, Learndot. I think you forgot your guitar.
I mean, should I get it? All right, stand by to get some. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about good times, when revenue is high and retention is strong and customers are adopting our product the way we wish they would. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves. In fact, we're feeling as successful as other market leaders. However, when times are bad and revenue growth starts to fall and retention is no good and churn starts to inch up bit by bit, and customers don't adopt the products the way we wish that they would, all of a sudden, things are unique to us and we're special. In fact, when we hear solutions that other software companies are employing, we say to ourselves, nah, not so much. That's not going to work here. As a matter of fact, we do things differently. We're special. So that's not going to work here. Now, maybe we are special. Maybe we're not. But I want to work that out with you in the next few minutes. And I'm going to tell you a story. In fact, I'm going to tell you a story disguised as 5 stories. And I'm going to start with 5 challenges software companies face and a solution that each one of these companies did to help solve that problem. And if there's time, I want to tell 2 bonus stories from non-software companies that I hope will blow your mind. Let's get started. Does that sound like a plan? Okay, challenge number 1. You get 1 hire. That's all you get to handle marketing, customer success, and education. What are you going to do? Your NPS is 37, and someone's breathing down your neck that it should be 56. What are you going to do? Product adoption is low. In fact, look at this nightmare scenario. Within 1 year of a customer buying your product, 90% of them stop using it. That's hardcore. That's a nightmare scenario in our business, is it not? The market doesn't even know what your category is. So your AEs are calling into customers, and these people are saying, whoa, soldier, slow down. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't think they're going to buy from you. That's a problem. And finally, this is a little bit technical, this problem here. But in 1 year, this software company was facing a problem. 2,500 job descriptions were discovered that required this software technology. 1 year later, that number of job descriptions requiring that technology went up 1,700% to 43,000. How is your sales team going to sell into that? I ask you. Okay. So these are the problems that we're going to talk about now. So what I'd like you to do is ask yourself, what's your problem? And how are you trying to solve it? All right, let's do this. Let's go back to problem number 1. You have 1 hire. Which did you pick? Ask yourself. Cloudera hired an education manager, employee number 20. If you ask Sarah Spurnell, she will tell you that customer education was customer success for Cloudera. And customer education was their marketing. And imagine when you're in a classroom with your customers, teaching them about their product, the success you can help them achieve, and the marketing you can do to help them use more of your product or buy more or increase their usage and blah, blah, blah. Imagine. So Cloudera chose customer education. And I know the VCs in our space say customer success should be higher, number 5. But, I'm mixing it up a little. And I'm saying Cloudera was right. Problem 2, Wyden is in the digital asset management space. This is a big deal for large companies. And their NPS was not good. They created Wyden University and started offering classes, free and paid, to their customer. And within 1 year, NPS went to 56. Pretty good. And they attribute it directly to the people who attended the training courses that they offered at Wyden University. I like that. There are other stories. They also increased the number of leads and the sales velocity. You can talk to me about that afterwards. We can talk about that. Problem number 3. Here's a story and a bonus. Okay, Intercom did something very cool. Their goal was to increase the conversions from free to paid. So their product education team completely reorganized. They restructured, and instead of having instructional designers do that, and video producers doing this, and script writers doing this, and instructional designers doing, or graphic designers doing graphic design, they said this half of the team is focused entirely on producing education content geared to the conversion from free to paid, and that's all they did. And the other half of the team focused entirely on producing education content that helped customers go from paid to more paid, upgrading, using more features, product adoption. They completely restructured their team to help solve that problem. Now, Fender guitars, this is the bonus story. This is fun. Fender guitars, it's actually kind of a nightmare. In the last 10 years, the number of electric guitars sold every year has gone from 1.5 million to 1 million. It's gone down 40% straight for 10 years. That's the problem. And when Fender studied their customers, they discovered that 90% of their customers that bought an electric guitar stopped playing in the first year. So if you're Fender Guitars, well, what are you going to do? Well, Fender Guitars launched Fender Play, an online learning platform where customers can log in and, by the way, pay a subscription for the training. Hello, charging for training matters. And people are paying for training. And Fender is not teaching you how to use the features of the guitar. Nobody cares about the E string. But I do want to learn how to play Love Me Do. And I do want to learn how to play American Pie. So they teach you how to play your favorite songs. That's outcome engineering, people. Okay, so that's Fender Play. That's a cool story. Okay, what if someone doesn't know what category you're in? Do you think 10 years ago when HubSpot was calling in that people knew what inbound marketing was? They did not. Inbound marketing did not exist until HubSpot said it did. HubSpot wrote a book. HubSpot wrote 10,000 blog posts, whatever they did, and they launched HubSpot Academy, created HubSpot, the inbound marketing certification, and anybody could take it. You did not have to be a HubSpot customer to get that education. And people got it. They put that badge on their websites and their LinkedIn profile. And hiring managers started hiring inbound marketers. They created a market of people that had this skill, all with education. And finally, Docker. This is Docker I was telling you about. In 1 year, the number of jobs went up 1,700%. The salespeople couldn't sell into that. People say, what's Docker? I don't know what a container is. That's kooky talk. I can't buy that. Docker put several hours of online training on their website, not gated, no logins, no pay, for free, the official Docker training. And there's lots of stuff on YouTube because these open source hackers go crazy. But it was the official Docker training. Within 1 year of them doing that, adoption of Docker, Datadog has this data. You can Google the Datadog study on Docker. The adoption went up within a year of that. So, this is the final bonus story. This is going to blow your mind. I'm just raising the expectations. Let's see if I can disappoint you. Walt Disney couldn't make the movies he wanted to make. Cinderella, go on, because he didn't have enough people that knew how to draw and make animations and write the scripts and do the lighting that he wanted. Walt Disney created a school, the California Institute of the Arts, for the expressed purpose of educating people on how to be artists the way he wanted so he could make movies. That school exists today. Your children can enroll in the California Institute of the Arts. I think it's Pasadena, not Glendale. And they can go there and get a degree in art. And Walt Disney, which back then was an innovative technology company, would you say? Creating a market of people who can become your employees, who then can make the thing you want to sell and can make people happy. That's your bonus story. Now, I told 5 solutions. But really what the solution is designing a customer education strategy that works for you. Because you are unique. And just because Walt Disney made a school doesn't mean you have to make a school. But Walt Disney took a deliberate approach. And this is the approach Walt Disney took, as if I was in the room with him. But whether they knew it or not, these companies went through this process of designing a customer education strategy. Okay? And they had to figure out what the goal is. That issue number 1, if you get that goal right, it clarifies everything. Once Intercom product education team realized that their number 1 goal was to help increase conversions from free to paid, imagine what you can create as an education team of content to help that happen. It changes the kind of education you provide because your goal is to get people to convert. So getting the goal right and then aligning the education goal with it is the most important thing you can do. And I'm skipping to step 4 because when you go through this exercise, raise your hand if you want to have a certification program someday in your companies, your customers. Okay. That ain't going to happen in 6 months if you want to do it properly. So this is why you take a roadmap approach to this. And what can you do in Q1? And what can you do in Q2? And then what can you do in year 2? And maybe this you put in year 2 your certification program pilot. And then maybe in year 3, after you validated it, you put that in year 2. Now you can put together this roadmap. And believe me, your C-suite will appreciate you if you have a roadmap and you know what you're going to be doing in 3 to 5 years, even if you don't know every detail. By taking a roadmap approach to your education strategy, you know exactly what you're going to be doing over the next 5 years and precisely the goals that you are going after. And so the example of Intercom was the conversion rate of free to paid. So with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left, we have time for a couple of questions. No pressure.
I got the mic if you have one. Where do they start?
Good time. There's a question back there. 3 minutes and 44 seconds.
I'll be quick. Creating the customer education strategy seems like a very cross-functional piece. How did you guys think about who was going to drive that as the point person in the organization and work cross-functionally?
It's an unsung skill, but whoever is a master facilitator, I don't care who it is, as long as they know how to facilitate a room. And your answer is important because in these stories, you notice these education solution happened all over the journey. It happened pre-sales and it happened post-sales. So you have to get your marketing and your salespeople in the room talking about this with your customer success teams, you guys, and your professional service. So yes, you have to start going around this journey and asking where are customers having trouble and where can we solve these problems, right? And what problems are we doing? But you need a master facilitator.
One more.
All right, we have 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Come on, let's get some. Or we can finish early and go on to the next one.
There's one. I got it.
How do you choose between free training and paid training? Because as a customer success, I would love all of our training to be free for everybody.
Yep.
Our CFO would like to charge for all of the training that we do. So we're trying to figure out how to find the balance. Like what's free and what do we charge for?
All right. Why choose? Do both. You have to do both. And I say that because if you ask your sales team or maybe others on your team, and forget your CFO for a minute, they want to charge for the bathroom tissues. Okay, so just don't. You have customers that are willing to pay you for it. I bet you've had a customer that said, can you fly out to us? We'll pay you and teach us how to do stuff. So you already have someone, I guarantee, raise your hand if you know you have a customer that would be willing to pay you something for you to show up to teach them something. A lot of you are raising your hands. That you turn into a product and you charge for, and you offer free stuff. And after the break, I can tell you my Beyonce story about how you should price out your training. Because videos could be free, maybe virtual instructor-led could be inexpensive, right? And an on-site private training that's customized, that needs to be 10 grand a day. And they're gonna say, oh, well, maybe we'll take the virtual, okay, for $600 a person, right? So that's what you wanna do. You don't choose, do both. Now, the question is, where do you start? Because you can't do it all at once. So, that's the tricky question. But start with one and then build into the others. Yep. We have 1 minute and 2 seconds. Tick, tock, tick, tock. All right.
All right.
It's good. Thank you.
We got one right here. We got
Oh,
one
we got a
more.
question? Whoa, stop clapping.
With all of the training that you could do, what would you start with very first?
Well, knowing what I know now, the training I would design is a jobs to be done type of training. I would not start with feature training anymore. And here's how you do this tab. Click on the opportunities tab and open up, click new and type in the name of, no. I would get into what is the job they have to do? What did they hire your product to help them do? And I would create that class. That's the first class I would make, whatever that job is. The second class I might make, and this is all debatable, I might teach and create a methodology class and teach your customer how to implement your software so that you don't have to do the implementation. Teach them what, if you have a methodology, make that a class. Teach them how to implement. Make your customer self-sufficient. Now that we could argue on whether that's the right or the first or the third class, but there's something to these two classes that are better than clicking buttons. Anybody can click a button, but these two classes help your customers, we have 23 seconds, help your customers understand what's possible. And I like that approach. I think that raises customer competency. Okay, I think.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.